TIFU by having a horny Reddit hookup. Okay, so this happened several days ago. I got out of a relationship about a year ago and impulsively went searching on Reddit in the r/r4r. I live in a small town in the US and it hasn't been easy for me to meet anyone because of restrictions and my own fear of getting COVID. I end up finding this girl that seems kind of intriguing. We had similar interests and everything, and our conversations seemed to be going well over text. Plus, she was located 15 minutes away from my house. We ended up meeting in person and things started out normal. We chilled, had dinner, and watched Netflix. All of a sudden she starts touching me intently. Given that it's been some time since anyone has shown me any affection, I'm all for it. Things escalate. She starts grabbing me, squeezing me, holding me close. Not terrible, this is where things take a turn. Then she started talking about how she was raped, on the first date.
I'm like, okay, let's try to not talk about that. It's a downer and not something I'm comfortable talking about, at least not now. So then the conversation turns to how she used to self-harm. Oh, okay, I repeat the same thing because I want to try and keep it positive. Next she starts talking about her long history of mental illness. I feel terrible at this point, but that shitty feeling doesn't negate my horniness. Next thing I know, I've finished my cocktail and we've started making out. I end up having sex with her and giving her a ride home. Throughout the whole car ride she was making detailed plans for me to spend Christmas with her and her extended family. Oh, okay. When she got home, she told me how much she loved me and that she wants to move in and change her job so that she can be with me. I have met this person once. Now I don't know how to tell her that I'm a bit uncomfortable seeing her anymore.
She seemed nice enough, but she came on super strong. I'm too kind to ghost completely and have absolutely no idea how the hell to deal with this. TLDR, got horny, met a Redditor, had sex, she declared her love for me on the first date and now seems to be obsessed with me. Told me she is mentally unstable and that she wants to be with me forever. Apparently plans have been made for me to meet her family and spend Christmas with them, FML. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. When I finish my workday I'll write an update and do my best to respond to the comments. P.S. I'm afraid of being murdered.
Looks like you're stuck with her. Hope the marriage goes well. Come back next week. We'd love to know if you've been axe murdered or not. Well, if she's on Reddit she probably saw this post, lol.
Lol, what I got from this was I saw several red flags but ended up getting sexually involved anyway.
If she reaches out again, be honest. You came on very strong and I'm not equipped to deal with that. I can't get over my worries there. I wish you well, but please don't contact me. Thank you for understanding. My corollary to don't stick your dick in crazy is that it's not fair to sleep with a person who is actively unwell on a first date. You just cannot assess whether you're helping or harming their mental state.
So anyway, we're married now.
When will you be entering the witness relocation program?
Not sure what else you expected looking for sex on Reddit.
It's a little late, but, don't have sex with someone who keeps going on about her mental health problems and whatnot. She probably wasn't in a good state for it. Please tell me you used protection and didn't leave her unattended with a condom at any time. The price you pay for thinking with your other head. Tread carefully. I have a similar story. But I didn't sleep with her. Ended with the girl killing herself. Then me questioning what I could have done differently for 20 years. You eagerly smashed through every red flag she fucking stapled to your forehead. So, you reap what you sow? Congrats on the engagement. The amount of replies on here calling this girl crazy is pretty upsetting. I'm going to try to offer you an alternate perspective here without attacking you. And I hope maybe it helps you reframe this scenario. This girl isn't crazy. She was raped. She went through a massively traumatic incident. And based on the way she's speaking, she probably has a very minimal, non-existent support network around her to help her cope. She's probably absolutely desperate for some sense of reassurance, affection, and safety. And while it's not the right way to go about it, she's probably using sex, probably subconsciously, in hopes of speeding up the emotional, intimate connection with someone. In reality, she's probably not a crazy person who's looking to take advantage of you, but rather actually the vulnerable one in this situation. You may not have intended to, but you saw the red flags, knew this wasn't a good idea, and still used your horniness to justify making this decision. In that moment, she could have used someone that would have gently slowed her down, not someone who was gonna reinforce the behavior by sleeping with her and then criticize her after. I'm trying hard to phrase this in a way that extends some compassion to you, too. But it's a little hypocritical to allow yourself to jump straight into physical intimacy with a girl literally hours after meeting her because you really needed it, and then freak when she tries to do the same thing emotionally because she really needs it. I'm not saying you should go marry this girl, or even see her again. But I do hope in the future you consider the needs and emotions of the other party before blindly satisfying your own. Genuinely wish you luck out there. Edit. Very thankful for all the kind responses to this. I was worried at first when I saw the majority of comments in this thread. Take care of each other out there. Edit 2. Getting a lot of comments saying that this girl fits the bill for a borderline personality disorder. Whether it was trauma, BPD, or a combo, my point still stands. Crazy is a dismissive thing to call someone struggling with very real problems. And there was enough evidence presented to OP that this girl was vulnerable. Regardless of the reason, I still believe OP was not the victim in this situation, and I hope that he can look at this scenario and use it as a lesson learned for future endeavors. I don't want to be that person. But when someone starts talking about having been raped, self-harming, and a history of mental illness on a date, you definitely don't do your best to shut down the conversation and proceed to fuck that person. You're obviously not the only one responsible, as she's an adult and should be getting treatment for whatever problems she has. But what you did was also definitely a major dick move. No pun intended. Towards her, and also generally a really bad idea for yourself. My only advice would be to try to talk to her honestly but gently and just say that you feel things are moving too fast and that you'd be happy to see her again but can't commit to anything. If you feel that conversation is getting out of hand, stop it and get in touch with either her family or her friends. Find out a bit more about what's going on. Explain what happened, get some advice, and try and deal with it that way. Rule number 5. Don't put your dick in crazy. Oh no, you opened Pandora's box! Exclamation mark. Understanding when you should have stopped. Then she started talking about how she was raped. This right here. A person who is about to have sex with another person should be comfortable enough to do so by bringing up the rape literally just prior to having sex. That to me is a sign that they haven't fully processed and come to grips with what happened. So then the conversation turns to how she used to self-harm. Self-harm might be a way of letting you know that you would possibly find scars or marks on their body. I guess this could have been their way of giving you a heads up. She starts talking about her long history of mental illness. At this point, I'd say this was a person who needs to reflect on what they are wanting to gain from a relationship. If they are intent on explaining to people what has happened to them in their life, it shouldn't be on the same night before they are wanting to have sex. Now I don't know how to tell her that I'm a bit uncomfortable seeing her anymore. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. She seemed nice enough, but she came on super strong. Next, TIFU. TIFU by having sex. Trying to scare the shit out of the Redditor so they would ghost me. But obviously it didn't work. And have absolutely no idea how the hell to deal with this. I mean, wouldn't she end up seeing this post? This is the wrong subreddit for this. But why TA? I seriously need help and human connection. I am disclosing the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah, shut up about that shit and let's Fuick.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.